Hello, welcome for the episode for B.Sc Finance, the Campus Insider, which we've conducted for with our students of NMIMS. Now, this particular video is apt for all the parents and students. Parents, specifically, if your kid is looking at doing finance, this video would give you an understanding of why finance, what is finance, and what are the basic placements you would be able to get. And students, if you're looking at understanding the curriculum, if you're looking at understanding if finance is the right one for you, I hope this one would help you. If you like anything about the video or if you have any feedback, we would love to hear it in the comment section. So please make sure you let us know and let's get started.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Sanika Mate. I'm your friend, your mentor, and your guide. I'm the program manager for IMS, and today I am taking you through about the details and the career in finance and everything about the BSc Finance at NMIMS Mumbai. And today we are hosting two of our brilliant students. One is an alumni who have already completed her BSc Finance at NMIMS and currently pursuing her MBA with IIM Kolkata, and the other one is a second year student, a current student for BSc Finance and MIMS Mumbai, Mehak Jain. So let's start with their introduction. Uh, let's go with senior first. Ria, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I am Riya Irani. I hope you guys are doing well. I graduated last year from NMIMS. I did a B.Sc in finance, and I'm currently now doing my MBA at IIM Calcutta. I took up finance in NMIMS because, like, B.Sc finance particularly, because I knew like finance was something that I wanted to get into, and I thought like this would be the right step for me. And kind of like to help me prepare and all that, IMS was a great support for my NPAT as well as for my CAT to help me get into IIM Calcutta. I'm 1 year almost done with my MBA. I hope that I'm able to answer a lot of your questions and help and guide you with how you can go forward and take your journey into this field ahead.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ria. Ria has also been with us like 2 years back, helping and guiding the students. So, Ria, thank you so much for being ever so helpful. Uh, we have Mehak Jain. Mehak, can you please introduce yourself, to our audience today?
Hello everyone, I'm Mehak Jain. So I'll start with my background. I passed 12th and after which I gave my NPAT and got into NMIMS. I'm currently in my second year and with that I'm also doing CFA and I'm gonna give my attempt in the next 2 weeks, my level one. And yeah, I hope I'm able to answer your questions. About finance. So I took finance because I'm very interested in economics and statistics. And I also knew I wanted to do something related to a financial analyst or portfolio management. And that's why I opted for NMIMS. BSc Finance in particular because it is very correlated with the CFA course and it helps you a lot with that. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mehak and Ria, for introducing yourself. Now, let's start with understanding the basic of finance. Okay. A little information. I just want to understand from you, just to get, a little understanding of what information or how informed you are. Are you aware that there is an entrance exam required for NMIMS? Yes or no, just raise your hand. If you know it, just raise your hand. So my 50% of the crowd is aware that there is an entrance exam, right? Now, let 100% of the crowd know that there is an entrance exam and what is the entrance exam, okay? So first let's start with what is finance, okay? Why you should consider finance. Let's talk about this because when we talk about finance, we talk about a lot of things, but confusion वहां पे आ जाता है when you guys are confused. Are you confused? लेना है नहीं लेना है? Students, parents, just raise your hand if you feel that your child is confused. If you feel that I'm confused, is it the right choice for me? You guys are, right? Let me tell you that this is not new. Before you take a big step and choosing your career, everybody is confused. So right now what I'm going to give you is a little questions you need to ask yourself to understand if this is the right career option for you. Okay? Or is this really your why? Why you should be going for finance? Most importantly, global demand and job security. Okay, this particular career is demanded globally. पैसा सबको पता होना चाहिए how it needs to be function, how it needs to be managed. Okay, it gives you, this particular career also provides you with a job security. Financial professionals are required and needed worldwide. So this should be one of the reasons why people opt for finance. Second is a diverse career options. Any company you would join, they would have, it's one of the pillars when when you start your business. Okay, that's what they talk even in the MBA, the four important pillars: operations, marketing, finance, and HR. So finance is an important pillar, and the diverse career options starting from banking, every industry, you would have this particular section. Okay, continuous learning and growth. This particular career is very, very dynamic. Okay, and if you have that zeal that you want to learn something new all the time, you would have technically, now finance plus tech is fintech, right? So there is always a growth and there is learning which will be happening. And if you have that zeal in you, you find it interesting, go ahead, opt for it. If you have that skill in you where you have the problem solving technique or you have that analytical skills, it will be a good opportunity and a good option for you. Money management, if you feel you're good with money, okay, you understand numbers, every individual should learn money management. Okay, but if you have that in you and if you feel that you're good at it should be the reason for you to join finance. If you would look at the top, investment banking or the banking firms, let's say JP Morgan, let's say Morgan and Stanley or Barclays, I'm just naming few. Okay, if you would see people who are working, there will be variety of job roles which would be there, and you would definitely see that the initial, the earning capacity or the initial earning, packages what the new joinee gets is definitely a little high above than the rest. So it definitely as a career has that potential where you would be able to get good salaries, good bonuses, and obviously an opportunity for rapid growth. If you are good with your skills, which because that's what the companies look at, it will be something you should be looking at. Now, what you need to understand is what is your why? What is the reason you want to join finance? Are you good with numbers? Are you looking at good money? I'm sure everybody would raise the hand if I say they all want good money. Okay, if you feel that you're good with management, if you are developing those skills, this should be make your, think about it and decide. Now let's understand who should opt for it. Okay, confusion है कि ये reason है कि हमें finance लेना चाहिए, but am I really the one for it? Okay, why you should opt for it? Basic things: analytical thinking, quantitative skills. There are certain traits, okay? Like for a person who wants to be a dancer, they need to have rhythm in the body, they need to understand the music, right? Finance, numbers go hand in hand, and this is the basic. You should enjoy numbers, you should be enjoying working with numbers. I call myself mathematically challenged. I am not really the good person. अगर ज़्यादा number हो जाता है तो calculator use करना पड़ता है. But I know people whom I give a very rapid and weird number, and I know the answer which I would get from that human calculator is absolutely perfect. One of them is Jamin sir. If you guys, see the videos on IMS portal or on YouTube, he's a human, chalta phirta human calculator. Okay. And those people are perfect when it comes to, such kind of careers are concerned. If you love math, data analytics, if you like working on the data, if you have that problem solving, skill in you, it will be a good one, a good opportunity and, good career for you. You will do well. If you have a strong analytical skills, if you enjoy logical thinking, if you like evaluating risk, it will be a good career option for you. If you have that eye for detail, if you can understand where exactly the numbers are going wrong, if you are good with it, you're organized, if you have that skill or if you're developing that particular skill, finance is the career you can definitely opt for. You can, if you if you like to pay attention to detail, or you have very close attention to financial details, understanding of market value, interest here, it's a good option. You will do good. If you would be able to, or if you think you have that particular, capability of thriving in a dynamic environment. When I say dynamic, it's a constant change. There is constantly finance industry is changing. Pehle Google Pay nahi tha. पहले सिर्फ लोग कैश में डील करते थे, पहले बैंक्स भी नहीं होते थे, वेरी वे वे बैक. But it's changing, right? How we handle finance is changing. We came with plastic money and now there is Google Pay. It will further evolve. So if you find that interesting, it will be something which would work well for you. And most importantly, if you have that interest, everything boils down to what your personal interest is. If you like market kahan ja raha hai, red candle kya hai, green candle kya hai, uske bare mein abhi se thoda gyan lo, samajhne ki koshish karo. It is about basically the stock market. If you can refer, if you understand that. Okay? So I'm referring to that. If you want to know how companies grow financially, what is basically the background of the companies when they work at, when they look at finance. If you have any of these skills, it will be a good option for you to opt for finance. But numbers se thoda dosti kar lo. That would be something which would be my advice. Okay, now let's look at job profiles. CFO, somebody has asked me about CFO. Who is a CFO? Last time I remember speaking to a student, and the student was not aware of CFO, basic job description kya hai. So I've just kind of made one liners for you guys. The job profiles you can go now. This is aspirational. Okay, this is aspirational. You can go for these kind of designations and job profiles, but these are aspirationals at the top. Okay, CFO, he leads financial strategy and decision making. Company में पैसा है, कहाँ जाएगा, कितना खर्च होगा, budgeting कैसे होगा, they all decide this. Deals में क्या laws, किस तरीके के financial risk involve होने चाहिए, everything is decided by CFO. A financial analyst who evaluates financial data and investment opportunities. Investment banking, हमारे पास पैसा है, वो बैंक में है, वो इन्वेस्ट करना होता है ताकि मनी ग्रो करे. एंड they facilitate mergers and acquisitions. M&A is mergers and acquisitions. IPOs मतलब जो stock list होता है, जो IPOs आते हैं, it's about that. Fundraising, a company needs fund. So all that is taken care by investment banking. Then equity research analysts analyze stock market trends for investors. Then we have wealth managers, manages investment for high net worth individuals. Now let who is the high net worth individuals? The top businessmen or people who deals in crores and crores. They have a lot of wealth. They need someone to take care of their wealth. Okay, they will not be sitting and kind of deciding कि मैं इतने पैसे इस stock में डाल दूं. No, they have wealth managers, and that's what is a job profile. Then we have treasury. Treasury means overseas cash flow, liquidity, and financial risk. Portfolio management, they construct and manage investment portfolio. कि आपका पैसा हम थोड़ा mutual funds में डालेंगे, and then we put somewhere here, something on, let's say, we would invest in property or possibly, invest somewhere else. So they kind of take care of the complete portfolio. Then risk management, they identify and mitigate the financial risk. Okay, in terms of किस हद तक risk जा सकता है for a certain investment which has been done. And all these job profiles are looked very highly with the banks. Corporate finance handles financial planning for businesses, and a financial advisor who provides financial planning and investment advice. Now, these are the top job profiles what you can go for finance. ठीक है? Then degrees की मैम फाइनेंस तो करना है, बीएससी फाइनेंस के अलावा क्या क्या है. Okay, so there are two routes. One is you take an undergraduate degree, BBA, FIA. It is available with Shahid Sukhdev. It is available with uh, there's one more university in Shahid Rajguru in Delhi. So they both offer FIA, very good program and good outcome of the program. BBA Finance, you can do a normal BBA, you can specialize in finance, BBA FinTech, BSc Finance, BCom in Financial Markets, which is also called BFM, BCom in Accounting and Finance, which is called BAF, BCom in Banking and Insurance, which is called BBI, and then we have BCom in Financial Management, which is BFM. Okay, सो बीएफएम की दो डिग्री है, एक फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स है और एक फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट है. And then we have BCom in Actuarial Studies, which is available in Mumbai with RA Poddar. And if you are into actuarial mein interest hai, so yes, you would be able to do this. Now let's look at the colleges. I'm making it very quick because it's very self-explanatory. Uh, Shahid Sukhdev has BBFIA. These are the top colleges you can actually, kind of do your programs, programs with, or, you can study there. I've mentioned the fees as well. It is very self-explanatory. If you want to go for Shahid Sukhdev, you will have to give CUET. For NMIMS University, they require NPAT. Shahid Rajguru in BBFI, again, it's in Delhi. NM College, they offer two programs, BFM and BAF. After 12th boards, you would require your merits there. So 12th needs to be good, your 12th percentage. Ashoka University, Liberal Studies University, requires entrance exam again. Ashoka has economics and finance as a interdisciplinary major. Jai Hind, Mitibai and HR offers all three, BFM, BAF and BBI. One requires entrance exam and the other one takes your merit. And last but not the least, we also have Christ University here. And Christ University have plethora of finance courses. They would have finance with IB, they would have finance with fintech also they have. I have just listed few क्योंकि अगर मैं वो डालती तो शायद पूरा पेज भर जाता. ठीक है. Degrees. Now, this is something which is just an approximate figure. What degrees you can go for, you can, and what is the passing rate, what is the average fees you invest in it. So, if you want to be a CA, you spend nearly around 3 to 7 years. The pass rate works out around 4 to 5%, and average fees is around 2 lakhs a year. There is a CMA certified course, 3 to 5 years of duration, 10 to 15% of pass rate, while you spend around a lakh a year. We have ACCA, 2 to 3 years of duration. Pass rate is pretty good, 40 to 50%. You will spend around 2.5 lakhs there. CFA, FRM, Actuary, CFP, CPA. These are all certifications. They are degrees which you would be able to simultaneously pull off with your current degree programs, courses, professional degrees. Okay, so this is something which you would be able to additionally take. Like CFA, what Mehak said, that she will be going for a level one. Okay, so this is all the gyan about finance. Now we would be talking about something which is very basic. So if we want to speak about BSc finance, uh, we would not know पिक्चर का क्लाइमैक्स क्या है जब तक पिक्चर का स्टार्ट पता नहीं है, करेक्ट. सो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक एलिजिबिलिटी एंड what is required if you are aiming something like a BSc Fin with NMIMS. So let's start, but make sure you make the right choice. Okay, I have given you a lot of download for BSc Finance. So finance is a career, but you just make sure that you make a right choice. And now let's start. BSc Finance. NMIMS established in 1981, so it's not really something which is a very new college. It's been there for long long time. मेरे पैदा होने के पहले से. हम सबके पैदा होने के पहले से शायद. All the students here. Okay, entrance exam required is NPAT or SAT. So in case if you have written SAT, you will still be able to appear for NMIMS Mumbai. However, there is a condition. The condition is your eligibility should be 25 years of age. So if you are beyond 25, you would not be able to appear for this. Minimum 50% is the requirement. So 12th में 50% hai, then you would be able to appear. But a major point is you need to have maths or stats in 12th standard. So if you don't have maths or stats, sorry, NPAT for this program would not be available. You can apply for other programs. Okay, but BSc Fin के लिए नहीं जा पाओगे. Batch profile 38% female and 63% male. Now let's look at the in type kind of intake. Mumbai have around 300 seats and the fees is around 3.75 lakhs a year. Navi Mumbai and Bangalore have 60. They had a campus in Indore till last year, which is now not there. This is the basic placement what is offered by BSc Finance, BBA and BCom honors. Okay, go through the numbers. Average is 6.86. Now, average because किसी को highest मिला है, मतलब अगर 10 students have appeared for, a B.Sc Fin placement, one student have got 12, but बाकी student have got lesser, but the average works out to be 6.86. So if you see B.Sc Fin, BCom Honors and BBA, they all fall into the bracket of 6 average, 6 point something as a placement. Okay, ये फिर भी I would say compared to other colleges बहुत अच्छा है. Okay, and it is good because if you expect ki first job where I would be able to get like 30-40 package, you guys are in Dilulu. Don't think all that. Initial packages are not that high. So don't call me and say ki, ma'am, if what is that particular program I can do where I can get the maximum, money? There is no such program. Initially, everyone starts with a smaller amount and gradually you increase. Okay. Now, some more gyan on NPAT. Admission is based on all India rank in NPAT entrance only. Okay, so there is no personal interview, which is the best part. So, ज़्यादा tension नहीं है. They don't declare scores, तो ये पूछना नहीं किसी भी mentor को कि सर स्कोर कितना आएगा, स्कोर नहीं आएगा, उन लोग सिर्फ रैंक बताते हैं. AIR up to 3,000, the chances are bright that you would get this lovely Mumbai campus. Preference of order in this three would be as per what I mentioned: Mumbai, then Navi Mumbai, and Bangalore. NPAT papers are very heavy on quant, mathematics, and this is how it looks like. And good part is there is no negative marking. So +1, -0, 40, 40, 40. किसी ने मुझको अभी मैं जब scroll कर रही थी, I just realized that somebody has asked me about NPAT forms not available. So NPAT this year has started with is going a little delayed. They would be coming with the form last year December में release कर दिया था, but I think this year a little delay is happening. I'm expecting some changes. So let's just hope for the best that the changes are good for you. Okay, now let's get started. We know everything, the base, the foundation of BSc Finance. Okay, now let's talk about BSc Finance and our dear panelists who are here, who are currently pursuing and already done with BSc Finance. We understood the reasons why you should be opting for finance and who should be opting for finance. Let's talk with them and understand what are their reasons and why did they opt for it. Okay, this time we will start with Mehek. Mehek, you are currently pursuing your BSc finance and you are in the second year. You will almost be completing your second year.
Yeah.
What was your reason for pursuing finance a career, and also why uh, BSc finance?
So, like I said, I have a knack for economics. I love economics and stats. So, my first reason was I wanted to do something which has a heavy weightage for that. Now, if I say that, you will ask me why did I not take BSc economics, is because I also like stock markets a lot, researching about companies, investing, and all of that. So, I knew I wanted to do something in finance. I chose BSc Finance from NMIMS because I wanted to stay in Mumbai. So that is the reason I chose B.Sc Finance. And again, I wanted to do CFA, and the portions are quite similar, the curriculum for both the courses.
Okay, so you had your interest in the share market, in
Yeah,
finance. Are you good with numbers?
and
Okay, so it's not a myth. It's definitely not a myth कि numbers अच्छे
yeah,
होने चाहिए. Okay, so somewhere we know your reasons. You were very clear about you wanted to get into finance because your interest lies there. Fantastic. So, Ria, what about you?
So I knew commerce was something that I wanted to get into, and so that's why I took like 11th and 12th commerce from NM. Particularly, I realized that finance was something that I wanted to get into because, like, ma'am, that you mentioned on your slide also, it's something that every company has. It's something that every company, like, there is a finance department in every company, irrespective of what they're doing. And that's kind of something that I realized, and that I then realized that would leave a lot of options open for me, and I'd be able to learn a lot because of that. You get to learn constantly a lot in finance. There's something or the other coming up. or there's something or the other that's just out there already that someone else knows and you need to know more. So it gives you that constant learning experience that you have. Particularly from like I did a BSc from NMIMS Mumbai because like Mac mentioned, the curriculum is very aligned with the like how the CFA curriculum is. It teaches you a lot, and when you're learning in that kind of classroom setting and how the professors are, how the colleges and all of that, it's just it teaches you a lot, and you're learning in a very unique way. So that is particularly why I chose NMIMS Mumbai, and also the fact that it's in Bombay. So
Fantastic. So both of you had very clear, idea. I kind of understand here. Now, tell me something. When it comes to BSc Finance, you both have categorically mentioned the curriculum of this particular program is pretty strong. Okay. Uh, Ria, starting with you. Uh, and Mehak, if you want to possibly join in and kind of add anything which Ria is kind of saying, please go ahead and do that. Uh, Ria, what do you think? What exactly is the strong part about the curriculum for BSc Finance, specifically with NMIMS?
Uh, so they kind of start introducing like core finance subjects right from I'd say your first year half, or like by the time you reach your second year starting, that kind of there only gives you an advantage over your peers who are briefly touching the finance subjects on top. You are kind of going in the core of it. You're learning in depth about, like, let's say, I remember in the third year, you have a portfolio management subject, and you do really go in the depth of how you can do that and all of that. And that kind of then also helps you understand, okay, is this something I would enjoy doing in the job aspect as well, if that's something that you want to go ahead and take. So it gives you an exposure to a lot of different finance subjects, and also gives you the exposure like in depth. You're not just touching it on the surface and then moving on. They do take it in depth, how many topics they cover, how the topics are covered, and they kind of like, at least I felt like they really tie it in to how you'd be able to use that in real life. Like they integrate a lot of Excel into your courses, which is what you'd be using in real life. There's a lot of like technical where the profs are opening up, like opening the stock market in class during the time when they have, because that time you also do have class going on. So they're using live examples to kind of show you, okay, like this is how you'd use a particular thing, this is how you do, is a good thing because it's integrating a lot of different aspects of finance.
That is interesting. So the curriculum basically covers everything which will make sure that you get edge over the others. And that is the reason, if you speak to any mentor, the mentors would tell you how strong the course is. After doing this particular course, they have mentioned very clearly on their websites. If you go on the NMIMS website, they have categorically mentioned that the covers most of the level 1 and part of level 2 of a CFA program. Okay. Mehek, you are now currently looking at giving the level 1 for CFA. This particular claim for NMIMS mentioning, that what it covers, is that helped you for your level 1 CFA?
A lot. So, I am in my second year, second semester, and there are 10 subjects in CFA. And I think up till now, 7 subjects have been covered by NMIMS, not entirely, but 70 to 75% of every subject has been covered by the college till now. So we have 4 semesters, and so 4 semesters and 6 subjects. So 24 subjects I've studied up till now in the college, and there are 10 subjects in CFA, so 7 have definitely been covered. So it does help a lot.
It does help a lot.
Yeah.
Is economics a part of the curriculum? Because I'm getting a lot of messages where students are asking, economics is covered. What I know, economics and finance go hand in hand. So do you have macroeconomics covered in the curriculum?
Yeah, so in my first semester, I had microeconomics. In my second, I had macroeconomics. Now I also have economics, but that's a history. So how economics, everything started in India up till now, the trends and everything. So we do have economics, not in very depth. So we just have one subject each year for economics, but it is aligned with the curriculum. Yeah.
It is definitely there. Great. So we understand the curriculum. Is it a rigorous program where you feel key it is always you are on the edge? Do you feel that way, Mehek?
Definitely. because we have assignments, we have projects every second. If I submit one today, I'll get another tomorrow. But these assignments and projects are not like the usual ones where we have to go and search on Google and we'll get all the information, we'll compile it and submit it. So it's nothing like 11th and 12th. We have to do a lot of research work, we have to do analysis. We learn a lot of quantitative analysis in NMIMS. So they teach you, you learn it by yourself also. And majorly, a lot of it is Excel based. So you perform a lot of analysis and then you analyze it yourself. So it's very interesting, but it is very expensive.
It is interesting and very extensive. And what really plays well for the students who would be taking such a rigor program is the fact that if you should should have liking. And I guess for Mehek and for Ria, what is really working well, I mean, for Ria, it has definitely worked well, is the fact that she has that passion for the numbers and the stream itself, which is career. Okay, so Ria, just wanted to get your perspective now as you are done with those 3 years of BSc finance, and now I am Calcutta where you're actually doing your MBA. How that has helped you with your post graduation right now, what you're studying? Has it given you any, or whatever you have learned as a curriculum in BSc finance with NMIMS, has it helped you in post graduation as well?
100%. So there is a lot of overlap between what I'm studying now and what I've already studied. We do, like, especially in your first year in your MBA, because again, it's kind of like the profs are kind of getting everyone on the same level because you do have a lot of people from different streams coming in, right? So they cover like a lot of different finance subjects, which is what you've done already. So that really helps you in that aspect because you already have that knowledge and then you can build on it ahead with the profs, even though they are going in a very basic level over here in the MBA. And you've kind of done that. I've even had like micro and macro again this in my first year. So you've done all of that. This kind of then, it creates a base for you when you do, if anyone wants to pursue their MBA, that creates a base and then you can develop on it. So that was really helpful for me, especially because I'm not like relearning everything. I know something and now I'm going a step ahead in my MBA with it.
Very clearly, we have established the fact that curriculum for NMIMS is definitely a standout. Okay, now it cannot be all work, right? Because before we started the webinar, I was just having a chat with Mehek and Ria, and I was actually telling them that it is such a lovely experience to see them grow, because this little girls here whom I met 2 years back and now I'm interacting, I feel that they have grown as individuals. Okay, but it requires a lot of efforts there from the college, because you get into a lot of events, okay, which is a very integral part. Students find it fun, but that fun aspect of the college is a way to teach you guys about leadership, about people management, about organizing, how it is supposed to be done. And I want to understand what are the skills in terms of fun activities which are taken care by NMIMS. So uh, Mehek, starting with you, you are currently in the second year. Tell me something, how the festivals and the committees are helping you develop skills.
So, when my college started, we had an induction week where the college introduced us to all the committees and the clubs which are there. So, there are a lot of clubs, two clubs which are the more on the fun side, which is Montage and Vayu, which are the cultural clubs and the fest. And then there's a corporate interface cell, which is more finance related, business related. There's a social responsibility club, a debate society, the road track club. So there are a lot of clubs in NMIMS. When you start your college, I think in around 3-4 weeks, you get forms from the HODs of the respective club. It's very easy. You just have to fill the form. You'll get an interview call. You have to go. You have to give the interview. If you get selected in the club, you are a part of it for the rest of the 3 years until you leave it. So in my first year, I went for Montage, which is the cultural club, in the dance team, and I'm still in the dance team. So, and I only opted for one club because dance takes a lot of your time. So we have practices for around 4-5 hours if there's an event. So I opted for the dance team and I'm still doing that. A lot of my friends are in Vayu, which is a lot of fun. You get to organize the entire fest, which is NMIMS's fest. There are a lot of departments in Vayu. You can go into marketing, finance, PR. You can go into there's this informal thing where you get to talk to the people you're going to invite for that. Then there's CIC, where you get to attend business seminars where business professionals come and give you workshops. And there's also a sports club if you're interested in sports. So there are all the sports, there's football, basketball, cricket. There are committees and departments for that. So I feel if you're joining NMIMS, you definitely should go for at least two clubs in your first year. Because apart from studies, if you just do studies, you'll get very exhausted. So you should be a part of clubs. It helps you grow a lot because I feel I have. You meet a lot of new people. There's a lot of networking in that. So it's a great experience.
We got a good perspective, Mehek, from you. However, when it comes to learning skills, okay, Priya, when you look back and right now when you are doing your post graduation, what do you think how that particular festivities, that fun, somewhere have taught you some skills, okay, and how exactly it is helping you?
So I was part of the Vayu. I was part of Vayu and Rotrack. Uh, I'll talk about Vayu first. So Vayu, I was in the department that kind of gets to interact with the celebrities who come, and you get to invite them, you get to interact with them once they come to the campus and that sort of thing. So one of the skills that I particularly learned there would be kind of, I wouldn't say skills, but it really helps you like learn how to network and communicate with people. Here you're communicating constantly with like a lot of different teams of these like really famous people. You're trying to, negotiate with them, try to reach a contract, and okay, you're like, okay, you want this, we have this. So you're kind of trying to reach that middle ground with them, and that's something that you learn over there. It's a lot of fun because you have it's also networking with your peers at the same time. You're so many of you guys in the department, and you all at the end have that particular goal that you want to reach to. So you're learning how to work within a team as well. During my time at Vayu, I also had the opportunity to host a lot of events. So like if a particular celebrity was coming for like a webinar or a talk show, that sort of thing, I had the opportunity to host that. So it kind of then it puts you out of your comfort zone, and it kind of puts you out there. I also hosted my first Instagram live during that time. I was very scared, but it was a lot of fun. And it really pushes you out there and teaches you that, okay, you might be a little like, okay, will I be able to handle such a thing or something? But then you realize that, okay, if I do it, you are able to handle it. And then the second club I was part of was the road track. The road track, again, a lot of communicating with other road tracks, not only within the country, but also internationally, because we were the international department for the road track. So spoke to a lot of road track clubs, which were with colleges outside India. We kind of had like agreements again with them. We'd host XYZ event together. We hosted like a month, so that you learn a lot. You learn to communicate, you learn leadership, you learn that, okay, sometimes things might not always work in your favor. How do you find solutions to things or around them? And overall, you just have a lot of fun while doing that because you're doing that with your friends and your peers. So yeah, I think if anyone who's joining NMIMS, two clubs, one club, is definitely something that you should be a part of and put yourself out there, if you ask me personally from my experience.
So put yourself out there. That's what Ria says. Uh, I have a lot of questions. Placement, I have already told you guys because I don't want to, cover placement as separately because every college has a similar process for placement. The number for the placement fluctuates year by year. Very surprisingly, uh, NMIMS had 7 point something in 2024 when 23 when the placement report was published. So every year depending upon how the market goes the packet changes. But just to kind of you know if there are any questions related to placement I would take up now. Considering the time, I would pick up the questions because I am getting reminders. Ma'am, can you please answer the question? Here we go, we are picking up questions. I would not be taking the names. I will just read the question out, and we all three, me, Mehek, and Ria, will try to answer the question for all of you. Okay, so Ria and Mehek, we have a question here. The student is asking, hi, ma'am, I'm in the first year, student in GGDSD College, Chandigarh, doing BCom honors. Currently, I'm not so happy with the curriculum, looking forward to changing my course in 2025 with the course which actually focuses on core finance like CFA. So please suggest me more colleges too for similar courses. Okay, so when it comes to changing the course is concerned, I would suggest complete your 3 years and then you can always simultaneously with your BCom honors, you can always take the degrees which we have mentioned here. You know, when I was showing you the slide, you can always go with simultaneously because when you decide on to taking such a big step, students you don't realize ऐसा time आएगा कि first year ऐसा लगे कि it's too taxing. But do not worry, just give some time to settle down. BCom honors के साथ में ही you can simultaneously you can possibly start preparing for any degrees which are there. CFA hai, CA hai. You can take a lot of programs which are available. So do not change the program. Think about it before taking a drastic step or wasting that 1 year. Time is very crucial. What is the syllabus for the entrance exam? Can a science student join the program? Not only a science student can join the program, even an art student, commerce student with NAP. This particular program doesn't really bind you to a stream as far as you have maths, right? I have answered the question, so I am just making sure that I tell you I have answered the question. What to choose, BBA FinTech or BSc Fin for NMIMS Mumbai? Oh, fantastic. See, BSc Finance is a program which would talk a lot about, as Mehek and Ria spoke, uh, the curriculum is a little different than BBA FinTech. FinTech involves a 60-40 ratio of finance information plus the tech. They don't expect you to know tech beforehand, but let's say if you are making a digital payment, you need to know the tech side of it and also the finance side of it. So if you are a person who likes finance but have that digital techie, self to, to yourself, fintech would also be a good one for you. But अगर fintech का इतना interest नहीं interest है कि payment कैसे digitally जाता है, then don't. I mean, it's okay. You can stick to BSc Finance. A lot of question in the chat box. Okay, I have a question from Neve Patel. Do they teach Bloomberg Terminal? Mehek, Bloomberg Terminal.
Yeah, so in the third year, they don't teach Bloomberg Terminal personally. The course doesn't has that, but they do send you a particular course guide where you can learn it by yourself. So there's this paid course by a US institute which teaches Bloomberg Terminal, but NMIMS gives it to you for free, but you can do it by yourself if you register for it.
Okay, I hope that answers the question for you, Neve. Okay, moving ahead, is CFA better or CMA? Mehek and Ria, you both are, you are doing finance, and Mehek, you are doing CFA. What would you suggest a student who is asking CFA is better or CMA is better? I want opinion from both of you, Ria and Mehek. Mehek, go ahead.
So I don't really know a lot of things about CMA. I did have a management accounting subject last sem, but I personally was not a fan of that subject. It was very difficult for me. It was a lot of accounting and not a lot of stats, maths based. I think CMA is more related to CA. So, I mean, if you are more inclined towards maths, if you like numbers, if you like the stock market, how the market works, I think you should do CFA. But if you think you're good with accounting, taxes, then I think you can go for CMA.
Ria, what is your opinion on this?
Yeah, I agree. It really depends on what particularly you're looking for and what you want to do. CFA is kind of very core, like finance side. You're looking at like equities, the market, and that sort of thing. CMA, again, you're looking kind of more like Mike mentioned on the accounting side of finance. So you can't say that one's better than the other or worse or any of that. So it really depends on what you want to do and where you see yourself ahead.
Okay, so I hope that have answered the question for the student there. Somebody is asking for NMIMS 12 boards, percentage won't be taken into consideration. It would be considered if you hit the eligibility. I have showed the PPT, the first, the first few slides which I was talking about. I did mention that there is an eligibility criteria. So they are not considering it, but it is still considered for entrance test. अगर 50% minimum 12th में नहीं है, you will not be even able to appear for NPAT. That's where the consideration is. Okay. SAT score for B.Sc Finance. Okay, so anywhere above 1350 is considered a good SAT score. So just try to be above the average, and I think you would be doing well. What is the duration of the course? 3 years or 4 years? The duration of the course is 3 years, fourth year is optional. I'm pretty quick with answering, but you guys are just putting the questions. कैसे होगा? Okay, let's just make it quick. Is BBA FIA at DU better or B.Sc Fin at NMIMS for achieving a career in finance? Both are good. You are comparing, it's 1920, but if you have to kind of look at the placement, I would say Shahid Sukhdev. Agar placement is the outcome, Shahid Sukhdev has better placement outcome than NMIMS. So I would say BBFIA would be, if you get it, it will be something go for it. Shahid Sukhdev is the number one college when it comes to finance is concerned for BBFIA. So I hope I've answered that question there. Level and topics of mathematics taught in the course. All right. Riyas, what is the level of mathematics?
Um, I'd say the level is your tenth, 11th, and 12th type maths only. They don't really go that much into the depth. I remember that in my first year, there is a stats course that is there. It's it is obviously they do take it in depth, but it's not that much in depth that you wouldn't be able to handle it, irrespective of which course you come from. But yeah, I think that was the only core maths subject that we had, as far as I remember. The rest, all the maths kind of integrates itself into the fin subjects that you then have over the next 3 years.
All right. So I hope that has answered the question. That was very precise. Maths is something which would be, I think it's very subjective. Just to add to that, Ria, uh, people call themselves good, but when they meet somebody who's better, I mean, it's very subjective. So 11th and 12th, but a little plus is what we would kind of finally say. Okay. Mehek, I think this particular question is for you. How are you able to manage NMIMS and CFA both together?
It is a little challenging, but I think if you give your time equally to everything, I think you can manage because again, a lot of subjects are covered in NMIMS as well. And so I personally believe if you try to do CFA in your first year, it will be a little more challenging for you because of the timings, which are 12 to 6. In the second year, my college timings are 7:30 to 12, so I have the entire day to myself after college. So it's easier to go for classes and then do self-study at your house. And again, the subjects are very similar, so it is difficult. It won't be easy, but if you manage your time well and if you don't waste a lot of time, then I think you can do it.
All right. So I think you have got at times, when you have to make big, if you want to kind of raise the bar for yourself, you have to take some, you have to kind of work hard. And I think that's what Mehek is doing. That's what Ria have done. Okay. You will not get IIM Kolkata, or you would not possibly able to achieve CFA, something of that level unless you put efforts. And effort starts from little time management, little sacrifices, saying no to your friends who are calling you for chalo milte hain. Okay, so you would be able to do well as well. Just start. That's what is required. Okay. Somebody has asked me about can you name all the subjects being taught in the B.Sc Finance program at NMIMS? I am pasting a course structure and I'm putting it in the chat as well, so everyone gets it. Okay, so all of you who are asking course structure kya hai, what all we will study, here it is. Just check that particular PDF, copy paste kar lo, so you guys will be able to see it. Okay, let's start with other question. Okay, hostel facility. Somebody is asking about hostel facility here. I will quickly take up questions which our panelists would be able to ask. Rest, I will be able to help you guys. So, in 5 minutes, we would let the panelists go because I have requested only an hour for them. Okay. Rest, I will make sure that I answer. And in case if there are any questions which we don't know, I'm sure Mehek and Ria both would be able to answer that for us. And I will come back to you and I'll make sure that, you all get the answers for your question. Okay. Uh, Hostel facility is something. So a lot of you, if you don't know, NMIMS का खुद का कोई ऐसा hostel नहीं है, but you would be able to get a lot of apartments just nearby Juhu area. Lot of variety available. So it will be something which you would be able to get. They don't have hostel facility by itself. It's not really a residential program as such. What is the student teacher ratio? How reasonably it is crowded? Mehek.
So, there are a different set, not all, but a different set of professors for BSc Finance. If suppose there's a similar subject in BB and BSc Finance, there won't be the same professors going to teach both the courses. So I personally feel the quality of professors is a little different for both the courses. Also, so for BSc Finance, there are four divisions, and for BBA, there are 11. So I think for each subject, for BSc Finance, there's only one professor for all the four divisions. Sometimes it might differ because there are also visiting faculties who come with specific subjects. Otherwise, the entire course has been taught by a single professor.
Okay, Ria, when you were when you were doing your BSc finance, was it the same that time as well?
Yeah, it was the same. We also, yeah, we had four divisions and the professors are different. You don't have from like the BBA course and BSc course. We did have like for a subject, we did sometimes have two profs like teaching sections. It wasn't only one teaching all four. So I think that was the only little different thing. But between BSc and BBA, we do kind of have, I don't want to use the term better profs, but more experienced profs in that sense.
I think that was a very good choice of word there, Ria. You can't have better. It just, a little more knowledgeable because you are a smart student. So yeah, that works. Uh, Next question is again on a CFA level. A lot of you are asking CFA related questions. Nice to see a lot of you are interested. In a 3 or 4 year BSc finance program, is there any change in the eligibility for giving CFA? For example, we can give level 1 in the first or the second year. Mehek, I think for you.
I think up till last year, you could only give CFA after you've completed your graduation. But from this year onwards, you can give it in the first year, second year, as you like. So you can start studying in the first year as well, and you can give it by your choice. So there's no eligibility for you to complete your graduation to give CFA. Like,
Okay, so there is no compulsion as such. Fantastic. Now, I have another 40 questions to answer. Ria and Mehek, any point in time, if you guys want to kind of, drop out, I just want to say thank you for taking out time and doing this for us. All the questions are related to the curriculum and NPAT, and I will take it ahead. In case if there are any questions which I am not really able to answer, which is in detail, I will refer the questions to you, and I would appreciate if you guys would be able to answer that for the students.
Yes, of course, for sure. I think, I mean, I do not have any time constraints, so I don't mind staying and helping and answering.
Yay, fantastic! Thank you so much, Ria. Mehak, again, you are free because I understand you are already juggling with 2 degrees. So anytime, because I have, I asked for an hour and I don't really, as I've told you earlier, I don't want to exploit either of you. So anytime, if you want to kind of drop out, you can.
I do have a lecture to attend in the next 10 minutes, so
Yes,
it was
please. Yes,
great
please.
answering all the questions.
I will get back to you in case if I have any questions which I am not really able to answer. Okay. Thank you so much for joining this particular webinar. It definitely added a lot of value and you have helped a lot of students. So I will definitely get back to you. Thank you so much again, Mehak.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Now let's take one question at a time. Difference in curriculum of BSc Finance and BBA Fin. Okay, so if you guys want to understand the difference between BBA Finance and BSc Fin, BBA Finance would be more of the 4 pillars, but finance sector would be a little bit on the higher side. So let's say look at the percentage wise. बीबीए में आप क्या पढ़ते हो? Ria, just help me with this, okay? To make them explain better. When we talk about BBA, you learn about finance, you learn about marketing, you learn about HR, you learn about operations, right? That's what makes a BBA. You understand the foundations of that. When you do a specialization in finance, you learn a little bit more, just a little bit more than the foundation. But BSc Finance is dedicatedly for finance. Matlab the percentage of finance information what you would learn is a lot more. So that's where the difference. Curriculum alag hai, mudda, yes, बहुत alag hai. I hope that answers the question. Next, if someone has done this course that would be relevant for CFA, which we are targeting, but doing this course can still pursue other professional courses like CA instead of CFA, you can. But Kavya, what happens is CA as a course is very rigorous. Competition बहुत hai. So it is always advisable that go for a program which doesn't have that rigor. You would require more practice. So BCom के साथ में भी CA किया because CA is difference. CA will not look at, I think the value for a CA would be कि first attempt पे clear किया कि नहीं. Correct, Riya? That's how CA's good CA would look like. First attempt में clear हो गया, first attempt में CA बन गया. That's how it is looked at. But for CFA, it's not really the case. So you need a program which is not that rigor, which doesn't demand that much. So a normal BCom would work. अगर अपने आप को अलग लेवल पे यू नो compete करना है या you think कि I want to do it, if you feel that you will be able to kind of manage it, go ahead. But again, ask yourself how practical it is because दोनों बहुत rigor हो जाएगा. एक थोड़ा normal program चाहिए, right? Is BSc Finance better or BSc Economics? Now that depends upon what you want to do. Riya, ये दोनों को हम कैसे डिस्क्राइब करेंगे? बीएससी फाइनेंस एंड बीएससी इको, अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, हाउ वुड यू डिटरमाइन और हाउ वुड यू से कि ये किसको करना चाहिए अगर बीएससी इको की बात करें तो?
Uh, so okay, so when, like I mentioned, when in your BSc Finance, you have micro and macro for your first year, and they're just like one subject. What happens in BSc Eco is you go way into depth and they break down macro and micro into obviously a lot of different parts that they are. So, like one of my friends over there, suppose there was some theory in microeconomics that we just studied as a, let's say, a small part of that of the subject. They go into the very depths of it, understanding every aspect of that theory, and they sometimes even have a whole subject which is just that theory. So you then what you're doing is you're kind of developing a very understanding of how the economics world works, how policies are made, how the government takes up policies, and that sort of aspect into like it's a very government centric view that you get, right? Because that's what economics comes down to at the end. It's kind of dependent on a lot of policies and how these policies are made, what underlying theories are they based off, and that sort of thing. When you look at BSc Finance, it's very fin numbers, company oriented, how a company should go about doing something, where you should be putting your money, and that sort of thing. So I think that is the major difference between the two. And also, I think the BSc Economics course has a lot of integration of stats into it. They do have a lot of stat subjects that are as a part of it, because you do need a lot of math in eco because there's a lot of derivations and that sort of thing. So I think that is the big difference between the two, in my opinion.
But must say, Ria, very good perspective given, and I would completely agree with you. Uh, so I hope that kind of, clears the idea for you. See, BSc Eco will give you a different kind of job roles, but BSc, Fin will give you different kind of job roles. Okay. Jin, the student is asking, hello, ma'am, what aptitude would be required for BSc Fin? Like it should be apt with integration, or is it okay if I'm not good at it? Integration will not be the complete paper, right? It will not be the complete syllabus. Even if you're moderate with it, it's okay. You would be able to sail through BSc Fin. Good evening, ma'am. Is it true that BSc Fin at NMIMS will be 4 years starting 2025? Also, when the NPAT forms will be out? I am also waiting for NPAT the way you guys are waiting. NPAT is little delayed, as I did mention at the start of our webinar. थोड़ा delay चल रहा है. Hopefully by next week we should be able to get the NPAT forms are out, and once they are out, we will tell you. You would be able to see it on YouTube. You will be able to see it in your Telegram groups, your WhatsApp groups. हर जगह पता चल जाएगा. Considering 4 years, 4 year is still optional. Okay, if you want to kind of get honors, as of now there is no news. Let's just wait and see what they have, for the 25 year. Is it tedious to maintain the attendance at NMIMS? I think it's 85%, right, Ria?
Yeah, it is, I think 80-85%.
80-85%, yeah. uh I think attendance maintain करना tedious नहीं है, because हो जाता है अगर compulsion हो तो. फिर तो
Yeah,
करना ही पड़ता है.
you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice, absolutely. Somebody was asking a question for Mehek. How has it been balancing CFA with UG degree? Have you been able to cope and balance? I think, sir, we already covered this particular question. However, I am copy pasting this. If it was specifically for Mehek, it has been written. So I am making sure that Mehek is answering it. Okay. And I will get back to you on this. I know the student here, so I will get back to the student about the same. Can we manage both CFA and NMIMS together? Mehek is doing it. Absolutely fine. You can. Is it always advised to pursue a professional degree like CFA after a while doing BSc Fin? I think when you are looking at possibly, making as early as possible, time benefit. So having that start early start gives you just a little plus point when you start early. So you can do post also. There is no problem, but starting a little early will give you a heads up, because ये हो सकता है BSc फाइनेंस खत्म करने के बाद में सिर्फ थर्ड लेवल रह जाएगा. And that kind of gives you a little, better opportunity, because you're after a year you are job ready and you don't have one, but you would be having 2 degrees with yourself. Much more valued as a candidate for the companies. Ma'am, but the point is curriculum here and the crowd isn't towards finance. Otherwise, I'll focus after 3 to 4 years for college board. That's the reason. Okay. Okay. It's the same student which was asking about dropping out of the first year. See, but I understand where you are coming from. But honestly speaking, you can still move as per NEP. Once you have that particular credit, you will still be able to move. But my suggestion would be continue with your current course, what you're doing right now, and look out for a degree. Students are not, the crowd isn't, towards finance. You will not find, students who would be as per your liking. But my suggestion is just think about it. If you want to have a one on one, we can always have a one on one. I'm putting my email address here in the chat box. Okay. We can always have a one on one chat and see how exactly it will work. Just email me. I'm putting my details here. It's for everyone who feels that कि एक बार बात कर लेनी चाहिए पर्सपेक्टिव के लिए. Just email me. Okay, we will look out for a time. Email me your number, I will call you, and then let's have a chat. Don't don't take any hasty decision. It's very important. 1 year, very important. Okay. Moving ahead, if I take part in clubs, we won't be able to leave the club, right? So wouldn't it be become very exhausting for the students with each passing year? Ria.
No, so the thing is, when you join a club, you join it like for 1 year. And then what happens is your first year goes in being a member of the club. Then you have the opportunity to join as like either a head for any of the verticals and that sort of thing. And then in your third year, you get the opportunity to become the president of the club. So it's completely based on your choice. It's not ki, okay, once you've joined, you have to stick with it till you get out of college. It's your choice. You can join, you can leave. There's no such like compulsion on anyone with regards to clubs. And then you obviously do get to go up higher in the hierarchy as you go in your next year as well. So if you can handle it, then you can stay in the club, that sort of thing.
Okay, I hope that answers the question for you there. Um, does BSc Fin mainly build up only accounting type of courses, or can management also be done after BSc Fin? Ria, I think this is for you. You can just give a proper perspective to the students on this.
So if I got the question correct, it's asking if there's only accounting, right? In the
Right. So if you do BSc Fin, is there anything you can do apart from finance?
Yeah, so I am pursuing my MBA right now. So I did leave the options open to shift into consulting for like my summer internship. It did leave my options open for like finance roles and that sort of thing. It's totally up to you, it doesn't limit you. If you ask me, it kind of somewhere gives you an edge because you have understood how a business works at the very core of it. You've understood how money flows, you've understood that sort of aspect of how the stock market works as well. And you're able to bring in a lot of different perspectives to that with your BSc finance. With regard to if there were like only accounting courses that you will learn, that's not at all true. You do have accounting courses, but it's not only that. You do have like wealth management, portfolio management. We did have derivatives and all of that. So you're learning way more than just accounts and balance sheet, all of that.
So I think you got the answer from someone who is herself pursuing management. But I also want to add something to what Ria has mentioned. If you guys are feeling कि अरे मैंने BSc फाइनेंस कर लिया तो मैं मैनेजमेंट कर सकता हूँ, अरे मैंने लिबरल स्टडीज कर लिया तो मैं मैनेजमेंट कर सकता हूँ. Management as a degree can be pursued with any degree. It is not limiting you कि अगर तुमने फाइनेंस किया है तो तुम मैनेजमेंट नहीं कर सकते. Management degree is available, is an option for you. So if you guys want to do finance, BCom करके भी management हो सकता है. Okay, so just get this thing right. Management option is available anytime. Economics कर लो, finance कर लो, arts कर लो, humanities, everything, it is available. People tend to do normal BCom. So I'll give you example. Okay, so I used to counsel professionals. Okay, those were CEOs and CFOs across world, and I've heard stories from them that they started with normal commerce. मतलब BCom का option था, हमने BCom कर लिया, then we started working, and then life just sailed through, and now I am a AVP, but I want to be a VP, and that is the reason why they want to upskill themselves. And then for them, the program for management, gradually they will look at possibly a management or a program, something which would upskill them. It is available, and it is available at every part of your every step in your life. Requirement change हो जाएंगे. ठीक है. Now let's look at, what did you specifically go why did you specifically go for BSc Fin at NMIMS and not at any other options, like Sukhdev or Christ? Ria, why not Sukhdev and Christ?
Uh, I think one of the main reasons was that for me personally that it was in Bombay, and uh that is one of the things that I wanted to stay in Bombay and study. So I'd say that plus Coming down to it's just the professors. Like I went back to college and I met one of my professors after I graduated, and he spoke about how they're working constantly on. So like the subjects stay the same, but what they're teaching within the subjects. He spoke about how they're updating it constantly, how they're looking for newer topics to kind of include that. Okay, now probably have come up recently, like all of that, newer ways of how you can invest and all of that sort of thing. They're constantly updating it and they're constantly trying to keep up with the trends. So that is one thing that really, like, the curriculum and how they're working with it would be something that drew me towards NMIMS.
Fantastic. I hope that answers the question. And when it comes to, choice of college is concerned, I think Ria had a very very clear in her mind from the start when she started speaking. Even Mehek, when she was talking about it, she was very clear about it. But let me tell you that choice of college depends a lot on the city preference as well. Okay, so uh, I would get students who would say कि मम्मी मेरे को ना city के बाहर जाने नहीं देगी. Parents are not okay, and I'm sure parents would have their own right reasons for it. Okay, so it's not that everybody would be fine, a Mumbai student would be fine staying in Delhi, or a Delhi student would be fine staying in Bangalore or anywhere else. So what your choices are would be very personal to yourself. Okay, that is the reason all the IMS students are recommended go for an application strategy, take my plans quickly. अभी मैं पूछ रही हूँ, मेरे को बताओ, how many of you have not taken a my plan? Quickly, my plan नहीं लिया है. An IMS enrolled student not taken a my plan. See, you guys have not even interacted with mentors. So if you guys have not interacted with mentors, then how would you know? Speak to your mentors, because they would be able to give you an understanding of why it is important for you. An application strategy will be designed accordingly. Application strategy is referred to a word when you decide कि मैं 10 entrance exam के लिए अगर apply कर रही हूँ, मेरा priority क्या होगा depending upon my preferences. And it is important at this stage. Okay? All right. A lot of questions I've already answered. Uh, Somebody is asking if BBA Finance or BSc Fin or NMIMS on the basis of placement. I guess I think the student has missed a particular PPT which I shared some data with you guys. I would like to get back to that particular data. So here, so whoever had asked me this question based on the placement changes every year. This is the data. It is almost same. BSc Eco also falls into a similar kind of a category, though they have not mentioned it because the school is different. It's the School of Economics. But this one is almost on the same page. If you see, BBA has around 16 as the highest package, but eventually it is all 6 point something. Okay, so I hope that kind of answers the question for you. Apart from CFA, what all professional degrees can be pursued with BSc Fin? You can do a lot of it. I have just mentioned again on the. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm just putting this particular deck for you all. Okay, you guys would be able to see this particular deck, and I will make sure that I email this deck for you. So all of you have given me your email address. Tomorrow, first thing which I will do is I will email this deck to all of you individually. Okay, so just look forward for it. It will be from my email address, which is Sanika Mate. So just look at this particular deck. It will answer all the questions you need. Okay. I will make sure I do that for you. And with this, I know I have not answered a lot of questions, but I'm just keeping these questions, I'll just copy paste it somewhere. We need to respect time, and keeping that particular thing in mind, I will get back to you all. And if you guys have any further questions, please make sure that you guys are getting in touch with me. Chaitanya Mehta is sending an email. Okay, किसने ईमेल गलत डाला था क्या? All right, Chaitanya, I'm also copy pasting your email address here. All right, so I will make sure that I answer all the questions, okay? But thank you so much for joining in. We are way past the time, okay? And I will make sure that the deck has been shared with everyone. And in case if you have questions, just shoot an email to me. I will make sure that we set a time, we connect, and I answer the question. If you are even a non-enrolled IMS student, it is okay. I want to help you guys. Then that is the reason why we do this series. So in case if any of your friends who are interested, ये YouTube पे चला जाएगा थोड़े टाइम के बाद में 2-3 हफ्तों में, so you can refer to them. But I hope it was helpful. A lot of you have already left, but was it helpful? Raise of hand will be very nice. Or else if hey, that's nice, that's nice. I'm so happy that it was helpful, and thank you so much for joining in. I am so glad, Jaden, that you felt it was very informative. And thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for taking out time. Emails will be sent to you guys tomorrow with the whole deck. And thank you so much for joining in. In March, we will be coming up with BSc Economics. So stay tuned and make sure you register for it. All right. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you so much, Ria, again for taking out time doing this again. It really means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope that I could help the kids and, give them a little more information and insight.
You have definitely your perspective. Even 2 years back you were so clear with your mind, but now it has kind of heightened. It is so clear with what information you are giving, and I'm sure it has helped the students. It has given them a perspective कि सिर्फ BSc फिन करके सिर्फ फाइनेंस कोर्सेज नहीं, मैनेजमेंट भी अवेलेबल है. So thank you so much. Thank you, Ria, and I will see you guys soon. I will make sure that we connect. In case if you want to connect with me, email address is already available. We will connect soon. Thank you so much, and you all have a lovely, lovely time. All the best. Study well. All right. Bye bye.